But I go on this trip that she booked. And you know what happened? Exactly what my friend said would happen. See, he said if I was part of the club, I would save a lot of money on my vacations. You know what? I saved a lot of money on this vacation. Second thing he said is, as a club member, because this is what they were going to specialize in, I was going to have a better time because they were going to have everything worked out for me. It was just going to be a better time. When I got on that vacation, I had a better time. See, here's what happened. I had a watch out.
Whoa.
I had a host that took care of us when we got there. I've never had a host before. The host took care of us, you know, and this host was from the company, not from the resort. Also, when I got to the airport, they had transfers to and from the airport to the resort, already taken care of, paid for. It was part of the price, everything. And then they had excursions set up and all this stuff. And when I got, it was incredible. I'm like, I went swimming with Lulu the dolphin that week. And I just had all these great experiences with people that I'm an introvert by nature. I know I'm the one up here talking. You're like, but I'm an introvert by nature. And I was that guy that said, when my wife said, there's going to be other people there, I said, I don't want a vacation with those people. I'm just not that guy, right? But then I found out those people were kind of cool, and I wouldn't vacation without them now that I've done it that way, right? And so that's kind of what happened. And so all week, man, we just had the greatest time at this trip that we went on, and we got it for wholesale. And I don't know about you, but when something turns out good, here's what I was doing. I found this. This is me. I found it, right? And I was telling everybody how good an idea it was and all that stuff. But then on Sunday of that trip, I realized it's time to go home. And then I start feeling a certain way. Because don't Mondays after vacation suck?
Yes, they do.
I start feeling, I'm like, man, I got to go home. But I had this great time. And so go home. And this is what happened. Monday after that Sunday, I'm back in the OR. If you've never been in the OR, there's 10, 12 people running around in there. I got the first patient of the day, take them in there. I put the patient to sleep, right? When the patient goes to sleep, curtain goes up, surgeon starts to work, and everybody's real intense, especially right at first, because you don't know how somebody's going to react to the surgery or the drugs, so you're really watching to make sure, and you're adjusting stuff, and you're doing all. So I'm doing that. And then once we get the patient, we call it smoothed out. It's kind of like the airplane up in the air. Once you get up, it's real smooth. You get out and chop it, you put it on autopilot, and you're still watching the plane, aren't you? Taking care of people, but now you're kind of just a little more relaxed, and that's kind of the way it is in the OR. And so when we got on autopilot there, what happens is in the OR, people start talking. You're sleeping, they're talking, okay? And so people start talking, and I'm back here minding my own business, and people are talking up there, surgeon and the nurses and the techs and all these things. And then all of a sudden, something happened that changed my life forever. Here's what happened. I'm back there minding my own business, surgeon's working, and he looks up right in the middle of surgery, and he looks over at me and he says these words to me. Hey, Troy, how was your vacation? Anybody ever ask you that?
Yeah.
Every time. People like to know, right? And I swear to you, I didn't plan on this. I had no idea I was going to do this. But when he said, hey, Troy, how was your vacation? Somehow, right then, I became the national spokesperson for this whole idea. And I just started blurting everything. I was like, it was incredible, man. Remember, I've been on one trip for 15 years. I'm like, it was incredible. And I started telling him all the stuff. There was a host, and they had the transfers already lined up for me. And the host took care of us. I didn't have to stand in line with all the other people. She already had everything booked for us. And we got there, and they had excursions for us. And I met these people. I swam with Lulu the dolphin, and blah, 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 right? And then when I got done telling how great it was, I said these words. I said, you're not going to believe what I paid for this. When you get a good deal on something, you like to tell your friends about it? You're not going to believe what I paid for this. And when I said that, every head in that OR turned my way because they're nosy, just like your friends, right? They want to know what I paid. And I said the price, and they were like, how'd you do that? You got that kind of price, all that stuff you said? How'd you do that? And I said, this travel club thing, I didn't even know the name of the company at that point. I was like, this travel club thing I'm in. And they're like, and you didn't have to pay extra for that and this? And I'm like, no, man, that was the price. And they're like, no kidding. I said, yeah. Then the magic words started coming out of their mouth. Hey, if we get in that club, can we get those kind of prices on those kind of deals too? And I was like, yeah, come on. I didn't know if they could or not. I was like, come on. Then I had to call somebody. Hey, I got some friends that want to do that. Yeah, I'll put them in. They'll get that same deal. I'm like, cool. So they got in. I thought, this is cool. My friends got in. See, you know what was amazing? That night, that day, 7 people got involved with me. Now, did 7 people, this is important, did 7 people get involved because I knew so much about the idea, the whole concept? I didn't even know the name of the company. Did they get in because I was such an expert on travel? 1 trip in 15 years. Here's what I hope you're catching. 7 people got in because of this. Travel is an inherent yes. I don't have to convince people they want to see the world God created. And if you don't believe that, anybody got kids in here? Do we have to convince your kids they want to go to Disney World? It's an easy sell, isn't it?
Yeah.
Easy sell. And that's kind of the way it is with this, but some of us have convinced ourselves that we don't want to do those things because we haven't done those things. Does that make sense? But if it were real, you can really save money and really have a better experience, more people want to do it. And the answer is yes. And so those 7 people got in, and later more of those people got in, but that day, 7 people got in. And I thought, this is so cool. We're going to travel together. And that's the end of the story. That's it. But here's what happened. So I'm sitting there, and a week later, and my wife calls me in that same OR. And I take the phone call, because she never called me in the middle of the day. And she called me, and she goes, hey, Troy, you know that travel thing that we're in? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, they sent us a check. And I said to her, don't cash it. I don't know what it's about. I'm like, just hold off, because I don't know what's going on here, right? So I called the company. I said, hey, I think you guys made a mistake. You sent me some money. They go, no, we're looking at the records here. It looks like you went on one of our trips, and then when you got back, it looks like you probably told some people about it. And I go, how'd you know that? And they said, you got some people involved with the club, didn't you? And I said, yeah, 7 people. And they go, well, because you did that, because you were the advertising, we paid you a little commission off of that. I'm like, get out of here. I went on a trip and you paid me. They go, yeah. I'm like, that's so cool. No, I didn't get rich. But it gave me belief that could happen, right? And so I'm like, that's cool. And that was the end of that. The story's over. No, here's what happened. Those 7 people that I got in, they went on a trip. When they got back, guess what they did? Told people, because they knew people I didn't know. And they went and told people, and I wasn't even there. And those people got in, so my friends made a commission. And that's not why they got in. It's just a sidebar thing on it. But they made a commission. But here was the craziest thing, and this is what got me way excited. They got those people in, made a commission, because I tipped the first domino. I got a little override on that. I wasn't even there. For the first times in my whole life, I made this thing called residual income. Leveraged residual income. Meaning I wasn't there and somebody else did it and I made a little income off of it. And I thought, that is so cool. Because my job, I don't know about your job, here's the way anesthesia works. If I give my time, they give me dollars. Mm-hmm. If I don't give my time, they don't give me dollars. Does that sound familiar? And that's the way I've always been a linear relationship. Give them time, give them dollars. But this time, I gave my time. I went over here and did some other stuff, and pretty soon, roundabout way, I got some more dollars. Does that make sense? And I'm like, that is so cool. And so I got excited about the business part of it. I didn't even know there was a business in the beginning. And so we started telling more people. And that's where, and those people told some people and told some people, you know what happened? 18 months later, and again, this is not the boast or brag, I'm just telling you a story. 18 months later, I'm making more money with this concept than I am anesthesia. In 18 months. Now, anybody in the medical field in here? In the medical field, just to do anesthesia, it took me a lot of years just to do the education. Lots of money just for that education. And then I got to go prove I can do it in the hospital. And I got involved with a thing for a couple $100 and went on vacation, and I started making more income with that than I was. Kind of pissed me off, to be honest with you. But, so, I'm making more money. It's about 18 months later, and then this is the last part of the story, and then I'll get into it, to what's going on. So I'm thinking, well, this is kind of cool. We're making a nice income on the side. You know, this is part-time. I'm still a full-time anesthesia guy. And then right about that time, my phone rings. And I get a call from somebody that we knew from years ago, and they called and said, hey, don't just taking a chance here. We know that you and Kathy had tried to have kids and this didn't work out over the 18 years. And they said, would you be willing to, or are you interested in adopting a baby? That happened right when this all happened. And for the first time, and this is what I always talk about it, for the first time in my life, I made a decision, a big decision. I made a big decision, not based on my time or my pocketbook. I made it on my heart and my mind. Because this was see, what I really figured out what I was wanting out of life, because people always talk about, I got a void and I got this, and I felt like that, but I didn't, my life was good, but my void was, I wanted to just make decisions, the choices I wanted to make that were really in my heart. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. And when that happened, I'm like, this is it. I just found my mission. And that's kind of what happened. And I'm not saying that's your mission. I'm saying it all came from because I got to go on a cool trip. Does that make sense? So here's the guy that's been on one trip in 15 years. And now my life has changed in the last 15 years. And I don't know the real number. I don't know what it is. But I've been on over 200 vacations. Okay, all over the world because of this idea, and my life has been radically changed because of that. And a lot of other people's. I mean, Jenna said it. 90 vacations in 10 years. That's almost ridiculous, right? But I've been on a lot of those vacations with them, so I know. You know? So I just want to kind of get into this and show you. So I just want to show you some of the trips that we've been on. That we went on wholesale instead of retail, and we had a better experience. This is my wife and I in Santorini, Greece. Anybody ever been to Santorini? If you haven't, put it on your bucket list. One of my favorite places in the world. I hadn't been either till I got involved in this idea. Been there a few times now. Here's Jeff, that's my buddy Jeff. His wife, my wife, and this is us in a helicopter doing one of the trips they've set up for us. And what they did was said, we'll take you down in the Grand Canyon and we'll have dinner waiting for you on a white linen cloth table with wine. See, these are the things I wanted to do in life, but I hadn't done because I didn't have the time, right? So we did that. And this is on a beach somewhere. If in this room, and I know most of this room is new, but if you've been on a beach anywhere and we were there, raise your hand. I know a few of you. Yeah, look around the room. Not yet. Right? Not yet, but we're going to do that, right? So there's a beach. I don't even know which beach this is, but we just did a bunch of them. There's that son I was talking about. He's 15 now. We were there the day he was born, right? He's skiing in the Rockies, but he's 15 now, and I think this year, and we'll talk about it later, but I think that he's getting ready to start high school. So he's been talking about, hey, what if we homeschooled and we just traveled? Can you let me learn like that, Dad? Okay, let's do that. So we're gonna do a lot of that. Okay. Here's Jamaica at Rick's Cafe. Anybody been to Rick's Cafe? Were you with me when we went?
But I just came back.
Cool, is Rick's Cafe like one of those
really
places?
Cool.
Like,
yeah.
So if you don't know, Rick's Cafe's in Jamaica, and it has these cliffs that people jump off of. And the cafe's incredible. So you're like, wow, Rick's was busy that day. All those people were with us. We took them, they were part of the club, and we went and, like, remember I didn't want to go with those people, now I wouldn't go without those people, right? This people were with us. It's Kentucky Derby, we've done that a bunch. Jeff and I play a lot of golf. I was talking to some guys here earlier about playing golf. We love to play golf, right? Jeff watches me a lot. And that's some cool people because of this concept. We're season ticket holder at the Thunder in Oklahoma City. They were in the playoffs. Shaq was coming to town to do the playoffs. Somebody we knew Shaq, and they were involved with us. And they said, "Hey, Shaq wants to hear about the idea." And they said, "Would you help show him?" Well, yeah. So Shaq heard it. Jeff told him a little bit about it, and he said, I'm in. Looks good. So Shaq got in. If you guys don't know, Shaq's a DJ, right? So we were doing events with 20,000 people at them, and at one of our events in Vegas, he said, hey, I'll come DJ. Was anybody at that? Was that cool or what? Shaq being there, that was cool. So we got to know Shaq fairly good. There he is with our family. And going to France and going to the top of the Eiffel Tower, but having dinner up there, would that be cool? Jules Verne, anybody been to Jules Verne? Man, we got to get some people out doing that stuff, right? So that's the Jules Verne. Going to Russia, don't go to Russia right now. But it was cool. I'm going to tell you, Russia was cool. I wouldn't go right now, but it's cool. Okay? Here we are in France. Anybody like wine in here? This is Bordeaux. Going to Bordeaux, having the wine. It's different. I'm telling you, the wine's different there. And then, but what I really decided I wanted to do was stuff that made me have this giant smile, right? But not just me. I wanted to create those smiles for the people I love. My family, my friends. That's what I want to do, man. I see Jeff with a goofy smile a lot. We do a lot of cool stuff together. So this is what it was all about for me right here. And so this is what we did. And so we were rocking along, doing this kind of stuff. We were rocking along. Jeff and I, she said it, we put in, we knew people and knew people. On our team alone, over 1 million people came in. On the company total, over 5 million people. In 40 countries around the world, $1 billion a year, largest travel club in the world, nobody even close to us. We didn't even know who was second. That's how big we were. And then in 2020, something happened that changed everything. Anybody know what it was? COVID. Can you think of anything got hit harder than travel? You know travel's the largest industry in the world, right? Let me just show you something. So here's what it says. The industry lost $4.5 trillion. That was the impact of COVID on travel in 2020. 4.5 trillion. Look at this. This is a cool stat. I didn't know this. In 19, they were rocking 1 in every 4 jobs was travel related in the whole world. 1 in every 4. That's 334 million jobs were affected by COVID. Is that crazy? Wow. Once in a lifetime deal, right? It's crazy. But then it started coming back, and so you started seeing stuff like this. This is in 2021. You see it. Airlines, airports gearing up for travel. By the way, anybody been to airports lately?
Yeah.
You know what I heard? This week's the biggest travel week in history ever recorded. Okay? This week. And I'm telling you, we were just in the air. It's like revenge travel, right? So I wanted to show you this so that you understand how big this is. So here's what happened. This is last week. These are the dates from last week right here. These are last week's dates. And so look at on the 3rd, just for example, look in 2019 on August 3rd. 2.7 million people going through TSA checkpoints, okay? But then COVID hits, look what it did. Boom, we all know this. I just want to show you the numbers. But then look what happened in 2021. Started coming back, didn't it? And we knew it was going to come back, okay? And what really happened to us is we got caught with our pants down as a company. Because what we do, we only had travel, and what we wanted to do was we saw the people in our company, as they were traveling the world on 90 vacations, they wanted to look better and feel better as they see in the world God created. That was naturally happening. And so we said, why don't, everybody's taking somebody else's product to look better and feel better, why don't we have our own products? And we didn't do it. But 4 years prior to COVID, we met this guy named Isaac that wanted to do it with us. He already had the company. And you know what we told him 4 years prior to COVID? No, we're going to do it ourselves. We'll do our own products. He had a company doing $3 billion in the kind of products we wanted, and we said no. And then when COVID happened, we went back to him. You know what we said? Yeah. Please. And so we've combined with Isaac. We're going to talk about it here in a little bit. But here's the thing. We knew it was coming back. See, we were with Isaac in 2021. He said, travel's coming back. I want to do travel. I want to do what you guys are doing. So we were watching the market. But look what happened in 2023, this last week. We're back to right where we were, right? And this week, I just heard, this week, largest travel week recorded in history. Revenge travel. So we knew this happened. And so going back to 2021, we're watching. We're with Isaac now. And we're like, we want to launch this new idea. What Isaac said, if we do it, we want to do travel even better than you guys did it. You were the largest travel club in the world. You had 5 million members, 40 countries around the world. But what can we do better? So that's what we were looking at. And in 2021, March of 2021, we launched a new travel deal that Isaac is now part of with us, and we're a part of his deal. And we have 3 pillars instead of 1. Travel was our only pillar. Now we'll talk about the other 3. But we launched it at the Circa in Vegas. Was anybody at the Circa in Vegas? Was that cool? Was that awesome, right? And it was really cool, right? It was a little cold that day. But we call it Club Secret. Launched it in 2021. And you guys are here in the very beginning of it. Because here's what I'm going to tell you. Jeff and I have been there in the beginning of one other one. I told you about it happening 18 years ago. And what we knew was, to say you're going to do travel is one thing. To actually do it is another, because travel is a large animal. It's unreal how big it is. And to do it the way we wanted to do it, we had to build a foundation and build upon it. And that's why it's so hard for other companies to come in and say, let's do it too, because it's just so big. And so we launched this thing. We're building it from the ground up. And so this is Isaac, the guy I was telling you about. His company. It's family owned, it's 20 years old, it's in 40 countries around the world, it's debt free and done over $3 billion in the kind of products that we wanted to add to travel. And so now we're all together. That's the office space in Phoenix, Arizona. And so the relationship, and this is what I tell people, here's the relationship that I'm telling about that's kind of unique and new. Everybody knows about Amazon, right? Does anybody know how Amazon started? Books. Book company. Can we all agree that they've evolved since books? Right? And so they did an online book company, and it was a new concept, and then they said, if we can sell books, let's sell ketchup too, and let's sell packets, let's sell jam, let's sell whatever. And they sell everything now, don't they? And pretty much everybody in here has probably bought off Amazon. And you didn't have to be a member to do that, but they evolved. Now, not too many years ago, they said, let's evolve from that even, where we're selling all these products. Now let's do this thing called Amazon Prime. You ever heard of that? And it's a membership, isn't it? Now, you don't have to have a membership to buy stuff at Amazon, do you? You don't have to be a member of anything. But do you know that 200 million people last year paid to be a member of Amazon Prime? Why would they do that?
So we can get our stuff faster.
Get benefits. Yeah, faster, better, easier,
I need
better
my
price,
package.
all that stuff.
I need my package.
Right? So there's benefits to be a member. Well, why am I telling you that? Because Secret's been around for a long, Amazon Prime, Secret's been around for a long time. You don't have to be a member or anything. If you just knew Isaac was the largest kiosk operator in the world, 900 kiosks, doing $3 billion. And so Isaac noticed something about 6, 7, 8 years ago. He noticed the malls were changing. Anybody else notice the malls were changing? And so he asked some people before we even got here, hey, malls are changing, what should I do? And he talked to a guy, he said, hey, I don't know what to do, but I know a guy who does, and let me let you talk to him. So Isaac talked to this guy. And the guy said, hey, Isaac, you got this product that people they're loving, obviously. You did $3 billion. You're the largest exporter of Dead Sea products, because he's from Israel, so he took Dead Sea products, brought them to the United States and then around the world. He said, you're the largest exporter of Dead Sea products in the world. Why don't you do this? Get out of the malls. 900 kiosks. Get out right now. And he said, take that product and let the people that are already using it, give them a benefit, have a social network, and let them benefit from telling people about it. And so that's what he did. And that's where he's at. And so that's where he is. And so this is the way they operated. And there's still some places out there that you can buy it if you're not a member. But now he has this thing called Club Secret. And now we have benefits that if we're a member, we can get products at a cheaper price, like you were talking, get it faster, all that kind of stuff, right? So that's the relationship. You can kind of see that. We now have 3 pillars instead of 1. I said we had to experience the world, that was the travel. He now has feel good, which is nutrition going inside your body, and then he has a look good, which is the stuff he started his company with, the Dead Sea products, putting good stuff on your skin. And think about when you're traveling, that's what people want to do, right? They want to feel better. And then when they're out there and they're in the sun and they're in the winter and they want their skin to be better because they're traveling around. So that's what it just made sense for us. So let's talk about the 3 pillars, starting with what I've been talking about mostly, travel. When you become part of Club Secret, you get your own website. It's wholesale instead of retail. So instead of going to Expedience, Orbitz, Cheap Tickets, Hotwire, that sound familiar? Yeah. You go to your own website. And you can go and you can get pretty much anything you get those other places. And you put in your information, and it's going to bring it back at wholesale. And so just to give you some ideas, here's Bali, Indonesia. You're like, I've never been out of Ohio. What are you talking about, Bali, Indonesia? But here's Bali, Indonesia for 8 days, 7 nights. You can go for 1 night, you can go for 20 nights, it doesn't matter. But it's giving you, if you see at right under Bali there, it says 262 hotels at wholesale. I'm just going to give you the example of this first resort right here. The public price before taxes was $1,373. Our price after taxes was $331. Same resort, same room, same days. Okay, so we saved our members $1,000 just saying, hey, we're a member here. Now we'll talk about how we're doing that here in just a second. Here's another one, Miami Beach, Florida. You can see that $2,800. The best price, by the way, there was 146 hotels to choose from. We had it for $966. We saved you $1,800. Here's New York, New York. I've actually stayed at this place, the Westin in New York, downtown there. $5,500. Ours was $1,258. We saved you $4,300. Okay, I could go on and on because we have over 1 million bookings we could do on there. That's just what's on the website. Let's talk about real life bookings that I did, because it's one thing for me to tell you what the website says, but let me show you what I did and other people in this room. These are actually my bookings. So I need to go to San Antonio. By the way, I wasn't on a vacation. I just needed to be there. Okay, so I went to San Antonio. When I put in the dates that I was going, you see the dates there, it came back with 315 hotels I could choose from at wholesale. I picked the top one there that you're seeing, the Hilton right there at the airport. I wanted to be by the airport because I was going in, I was going out right there, and I wasn't gonna go a lot of different places, so I wanted to be right there. Best price I could find on it was $214 before taxes. It said on our website we had it for $113. Now let me just stop right here. I'm the most skeptical guy in this room. This is me by nature. So when they said they had this kind of stuff, I was like, hey, I gotta see it. Like, let me go check it out. So they said it was for $113 and they had it for $214 before taxes. So I went and checked it all out. Here's the best price I could find online. I went to Expedia, Orbit, I went to all of them. Hilton itself had their own property after taxes per night, $247. There's the nights I went, $247 a night. I went and booked it on my site. There's my receipt, see my name, all that kind of stuff. Same days, you can see the days. I got it for $112.66. So I saved per night, I saved $134.40. Now I want to say this. That's not retirement money. That's not change my life money. But here's what I will say. When we get done here tonight and you walk out there and there's $134 on the pavement, is anybody gonna pick it up? I'm picking it up, right? Yeah, right? I'm gonna pick it up. Here's another one. I went to Atlanta. We were just in Atlanta last week. This was before that, but we were in Atlanta. I needed to stay, and I wanted to stay downtown because I was doing some stuff down there. So I'd been in Atlanta several times, and I'd seen this place called the Claremont, the Hotel Claremont. And it came up in our deal. And by the way, we had 195 hotels I could choose from at wholesale. The Claremont come up, I'd seen it. It's one of those cool little hotels that's kind of retro looking, kind of smaller, retro. It kind of has the cool colors, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, I want to stay there someday. And I thought, hey, there's the Claremont. And it said the best price you could find was $297, but we had it for $145. Okay, so yeah, it's really a cool place. So I'm like, I wonder if they really got that. So, but I went and looked. Have you ever went and looked for a price that you saw online, but it wasn't ever really there? So I went and find that $297 price, and I couldn't find it. Best price I could find was at the Hotel Claremont. Theirs was $417 a night. You know what? Claremont's a boutique hotel. You guys know what boutiques are, right? Like it's small and expensive. That's what that is. And so, anyway, $114 or $417. I went and booked it. There's my receipt. I got it for $144.58. So I saved $263 a night. I'm gonna pick it up, right? I'm gonna pick that up. So that's one way to travel, the booking engine. Second way to travel is these curated trips that our company goes and sets up these curated trips for you. And so they'll do all these trips during the year, and you just, because you're a member, you just click on the button and say, I want to go. They set up everything for you. 4 and 5 star vacations. If you're a member, the company handles everything for you. If you're a member, that means your spouse or significant other's a member, and your kids can go too if you got small kids. Now, if they're grown and gone, they got to get their own membership. Okay? You get what I'm saying, right? But, okay, so they got that. So here's what those are like. Already set up for you, and they throw it. Remember I told you I went on that first trip? And there was transfers, there was a host, this is what I'm talking about, right here. One of these kind of trips. They had a welcome reception at this one, 5 days, 4 nights, the Grand Palladium in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. On-site host, farewell dinner, all inclusive. All the food, all the drinks, and all the drinks, okay? I've been around some of you people in this room. That'd save you about $3,000 right there, okay? On the drinks, right? Yeah, so, and we do it, I mean, it's a cool deal. And so round trip transfers, $299 for the whole trip, not per night. If they really had a trip like this with all that thrown in, food, drink, transfer fees, host, all, and it was $299, and let's take your wall down, because I had to, take your, okay, I'm gonna get this wall up so nobody can get through it. But if that were real, would people want to travel like that, do you think?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why we put 5 million people in. Let me just kind of make this point. This is a word of mouth to my friend type business. We only do VIP, word of mouth, somebody I'm not going to invite somebody I don't like because I don't want to mess my vacations up. Right?
There you go, that's what I'm talking
And the
about.
other part is, are they ever going to stay in my business or tell anybody else about it if we didn't really do that for them? Doesn't this make sense? Like, we did it, and that's the thing. When I'm skeptical, so I got to tell people that's the way it works. Remember I told you we said we wanted to do it better? So we did those escapes, and we did them great. Now, good is the enemy of great. We did them really, really good, but we feel like we can do it better now. And so one of the things that Isaac, he said, what would you do different about Escapes? And we said, one of the things we do is, you know, you got to get the prices down like that. Here's what we do, just to let you know how we get the prices down. We're like Sam's and Costco. Okay, anybody remember Sam's and Costco? Yeah. Most of you, right? The reason we're members of Sam's and Costco because we can get ketchup there real cheap. The reason we get the ketchup cheap there is they leverage you and me. They got millions and millions and millions of members, and when they know they're coming there to shop, and so they drive the price down by buying in bulk. Does that make sense? You ever seen bulk at Costco or Sam's, right? They drive the price down by getting bulk, and you're like, well, other stores do that, but they can't leverage us like that Sam's and Costco can. They drive the price down, and then Sam's and Costco, because they have the membership, they care less about the margin of this ketchup and more about your membership. Does that make sense? The more members, the more profit. That's their profit margin. So they don't care as much about now, the store across the street, they got to have every bit of margin they can get out of this because they have no members. Does that make sense? And then they pass this ketchup on to us, and you know what we do? Have you ever seen an advertisement for Sam's and Costco? Ever? They don't advertise. So how do people find out about Sam's and Costco? Me and you. Hey, ketchup's cheaper over there. Yeah. See, that's how we did 5 million members. That's how we're blowing this thing up right now. And so we said, instead of just having trips, Escapes, here's how we can do it better. That we have, let's say we have a resort, $99. How's that? Look at that. Costa Rica, 7 nights for $727. Dubai, 7 nights for $556. Thailand, 7 nights in Thailand for $549. Greece, 10-day cruise for $1,300. Italy, 9 nights for $1,500. I'm gonna go back to Thailand. I wanna make sure I got sound because I wanna let you guys see. So Thailand right here, I was going back to that one, 7 nights for $549. We just had a bunch of people of our friends that just went on this one. Like, what was it, about a month ago? Yeah. And then you know how I know it was a month ago? Because I was here, not with them, and I had that Envy travel. I was watching them on Facebook and Instagram the whole time. So, right, you were too, right? And so, these are good friends of ours, and so I wanted to show you, this is somebody that went on. I'm gonna let you hear from them just real quick.
Elliot coming to you from
Sorry.
Thailand. I am here with about 43 of my extended friends and family members on an Escape Your Way, where all you need is 10 people to go anywhere around the world with you, and our club will take you and treat you like a VIP.
So there they are in Thailand, right? I know that one's hard to hear, the other ones won't be. But this just kind of show you some of their pictures. Here they are. This is my friend, the Ojeda family from Atlanta. Jared and Kavitsi, we were just with them last week. Here's the cool thing. That's their son, Jai. He got to take his best friend with him. Is that cool? Go on a trip like this. That's Jai. Yeah, think of the memories he has now. Pockets of memories being created. There they are doing some cool stuff. The excursions I talked about, going through the caves of Thailand. Is that cool or what? Right? There they are doing just seeing the sights of Thailand. Look at that. See, these are the things I think we all want to do, but some of us haven't done them because we either lack time or lack money. Or let me say this, we're not sure we want to go out of the country because we'd have to go by ourselves and we just aren't real confident about that. Yeah. Think about if you're with a group of people, how much confidence that'd give you, right? And so that's what they did. So that was that one. So that's Experience the World. That's what we've done. We've done it really well. I'm going to go to the feel good right now. And the feel good is the stuff we're putting in our body. Now, Isaac, who's met Isaac in here? Incredible person, right? Yeah. Really, really character, morals. That's what I wanted out of an owner. Isaac, before we even got here, he said, okay, I've got the skincare, but now our community of people that are involved, they're wanting to put good things in their body. So he was going to do his own nutrition line, but he said, I'm not the nutrition guy. I'm not the expert. I want to find the expert. I want to find who that. So he started searching for somebody. Their life work was about good stuff going in the body so that we're healthier. And he found this guy named Dr. Cohen. And Dr. Cohen has an institute in California, the Cohen Institute. He's had over 50,000 patients that he's been using products on for years and years and years with other doctors, and they're seeing these incredible results. And all his products are dairy and soy free. They're organic and plant based, vegan, dairy and soy free, sugar free, gluten free, non-GMO, kosher certified, and sports certified. So if you got an athlete, they can use it. Does that make sense? And he said, man, you got what I'm looking for, Dr. Cohen. I want to buy your company. So Isaac bought the company. Dr. Cohen's still here. He's still the director of everything we do, making sure everything, releasing products, new products when we want certain things. But all these products are they meet the criteria I said. I'm not going to go through every product. What I am going to do is tell you a couple of things. 2 products. I just want to, these 2 products. One of them's called Recovery. It's our #1 seller in the whole company. And we got a patent on what I'm getting ready to tell you about. There's nothing like it in the whole world. We got this one, okay? It's called Recovery, and I'll talk about why. And then Booster, and I'll tell you why I love these. Here's why. So 2.5 years ago, after COVID, we decided we were coming together. I've been sitting behind been doing anesthesia for years, and I played 3 sports in college, and when we get out, maybe we don't work out and do the things, and I got unhealthy, and I thought, I'm gonna get healthy again, really. So I started taking all the products, and I was working out, and I was feeling so good, and I was feeling a little tired, and I went to this specialist guy, because I'm in my 50s, and when we get in our 50s, a lot of times our testosterone level goes down, and we get a little run down, right? And so I went one time right when I was about 50 years old, and they made me put this cream on myself, and I didn't like it. I was like, I don't want to do that, and I quit doing it. And then, when I'm getting healthy, I'm like, I want to go see if there's something else they do. Well, we had this guy that our friend, that he specializes in that stuff, hormone replacement. So I went to him and he goes, man, you're perfect for this. And you're getting healthy and you're taking this. This is awesome. He goes, let me take your blood work. You come back tomorrow and we'll get you started on this program. And I'm like, that's awesome. I'm taking these great products. I'm going to get healthy. I'm going to get this stuff done, get my testosterone back where it needs to be. And I go in the next day and he opens up my chart and his eyes got this big. And I got the news nobody wants. You got cancer. And it's late stage. And he was like, wow. And I'm like, well, you got any specialists around here that you know that? He goes, yeah, I'm gonna send you somewhere. And so I went and they said, you gotta have a radical surgery. You gotta have a radical treatment because it's late stage. And I said, after I felt sorry for myself, because I did. Why me? I felt sorry for myself, right? Then I thought, you know what? If I don't get myself prepared to battle this, there's no way I'm gonna beat it. Because I've watched too many people not prepare themselves and not get their mind, and I'm like, I gotta get ready for this. But I said, I'm gonna call Dr. Cohen because I know I'm gonna have the surgery, which I did, get this treatment. So I called Dr. Cohen. I said, hey, here's my situation. I'm already taking all your products. Is there anything you'd say you would do if you're? He goes, yeah, for sure. He goes, I would take more of that and more of that. That's why I tell these two. Here's why recovery. You want to know what recovery is? And I'm not going to go into all the science of everything. I'm not going to bore you with that. But it's all about molecular hydrogen. You can go read about it. Molecular hydrogen. And hydrogen they found over the years. And Asia has been studying this stuff for probably longer than anybody else. They found out if we can drive hydrogen into the cell, that our body recovers faster, or whatever we need it to do. But to get the hydrogen into the cell is very hard. Anybody heard about these Keegan water things that people are paying like $8,000? It's all about getting hydrogen into the cell. But the problem with those, it goes out of the cell just as fast. So Dr. Cohen came up with this thing called recovery, where we can get the hydrogen in and it lasts longer in there. Okay, and we have a slow release, which we have a slow release and a fast release of this product. And so that's all about recovery. Whether you just want to be healthy and work out and recover your body, or you got something wrong like I did, so it'll help you recover and feel better while you're doing it, right? So that's why recovery. The other one is Booster. It's all about alkalinity. Anybody heard about alkalinity? Okay, if your body's in an alkaline state, bad things can't grow as fast there. So he said, take more of this and take more of that, and he told me what, and I took a pretty good regimen of it, right? And so then I go in for the treatments, and he said, go in for the treatments and good luck and blah, 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 and if you need anything, call me. Well, I went in, and here's the deal. First of all, I knew it wasn't up to me, first of all. I wasn't in control. Somebody else was in control, right? And second of all, I knew I needed to be a good patient, so I did, and I just started taking this stuff, and I'd go in, and they told me, hey, because I said, hey, I want to be here. I got a 15-year-old boy. I'm 50-something years old. I got a 15-year-old. I want to be here for a while. Be as aggressive as you can be. So they did. They said, we're going to be aggressive. I said, cool, I'm ready. And every Monday, they said, but you're going to come in every Monday, and we may have to back it off because we're being really aggressive. So I went in every Monday. They'd say, how you feeling? I'd say, I feel great. I'm awesome. Then I go in the next Monday. Hey, probably need to back off? No, man. I feel 7 weeks in a row, 7 days a week, 7 weeks in a row. I never had the stuff that you hear people having, ever. Now, I would never sit in front of you and say, and because I took this stuff, I beat cancer. I would never say that. Here's what I will tell you. Because I took this stuff, I was prepared. I felt ready to go. I felt good. All those things. And because of that, because I was ready, I beat cancer. Now, right? So that's, I believe in stuff, and that, you know, I would never say just take this and it'll do it. There's another one I just like to throw this out there. In our day and age, this is called Immunex. Can you think of anybody who wants to boost their immunity right now, naturally? Yeah. So that's a pretty cool product too. So what it does for me, these products that now we own and we get to get at wholesale instead of retail and all this stuff. It gives me peace of mind that I'm putting good stuff in my body, but also my friends and my family, and they're all doing it too. So that's what it does for me. So that's the feel good. Now let's talk about what Isaac started the company with. Products from the Dead Sea. The skincare stuff, the stuff that goes on. Because if we're out traveling the world, aren't we exposing ourselves to the environment, number one, the sun, the cold, the wind, all that stuff. Yeah. So the look good part, and so he has all these products from the Dead Sea. Why the Dead Sea? Why the Dead Sea? Because it's the lowest place on the earth. This just makes common sense. If it's the lowest place in the earth, doesn't it make sense that things for thousands of years have settled in that place? And so there's 21 minerals in the Dead Sea. 12 of the minerals that are in there are unique to the Dead Sea. So do you guys know that people have been going for thousands of years just to float in the Dead Sea and to rub that mud on them? Why? Cleopatra did it. She went all the way from Egypt to go there. It took her 60 days, they said, this to get there. She did it every year. Because she was called the most beautiful person in the world at that time, right? And it's biblical. People have been going there, right? Why? Because there are reasons. It's got reasons to go to the minerals and what's going on. Millions of people go there every year, and now we're the largest exporter in the world. I'm going to tell you right now, I never thought I'd be sitting in a cafe in Kent, Ohio, talking about skincare to you right now. But I'm telling you, man, it's good stuff. It's good. Who's used it in here? Am I telling the truth? Yeah. It's good stuff. What? Even the guys' hands are going up. Like, yeah, man. The guys' hands are going up. That's crazy. And so we get them at wholesale instead of retail. That's one of the benefits of being Club Secret. Let's talk about some other benefits. We have a Be Well program. Telemedicine, guys heard about telemedicine? We have our own, and we vetted it because remember, we're in 40 countries around the world with people that speak a lot of languages, so we needed one where we had doctors that spoke other languages, so we have 250 languages. So think about this, if you're in Thailand and you get sick, wouldn't it be cool in Thailand you could call somebody and get English while you're there and get taken care of while you're there? Isn't that cool? So it's part of the deal. So we got 250 languages, zero copay, your family's covered by it, all this stuff. Look at that. No, so let me, again, I just like to dumb it down because I have to dumb it down for me. Let's say everyday stuff. You get the crud. Anybody have the crud? Just get the crud. You need to go to the doctor. You already know what's getting ready to happen to you. You're going to go to that doctor and you're going to sit in that office for 2 hours, minimum, with other people that got other crud, okay? And you're going to sit there with them for 2 hours, and then you're going to get to go in and finally see the doctor, and you know what he's going to say, you need a Z-Pack.
Yep.
And then they're going to send you to the pharmacy, and then you're going to pay the money, you're going to say it, waste all that time. Wouldn't it be cool if you had a service that you just made a call and said, I need to talk to the doctor. 5 minutes later, you get a call from a doctor. Has anybody done this besides me? You just did it? Tell me about your experience that you just did it. Stand up and tell them. Stand up and tell them. Yeah, don't raise your hand around me. Stand up and tell them so I can hear you. Yeah. Just tell them your experience. Well, don't spill your beer.
Come on, Randy.
Come on, man, you can do it.
Randy, let's go.
Come on, man.
Wifey's gonna do it.
Okay, so essentially our oldest daughter got pink eye, and we were nervous because we had softball, we had all this stuff going on. So we called in, and within an hour we had a prescription for her. It was easy, it was effortless. They are English speaking, which is even better. You know? So we used it really quick, and it was fast.
Whole time, start to end, what do you think?
we got the call
So there's a
from.
lot more. My mom called me and said, I need to take our daughter to the hospital for pink eye. I said, no, I'm going to call my doctor. I scheduled an appointment. They call me in 10 minutes. 5 minutes later, they call me and I talk to the doctor and say, hey, my daughter has pink eye. I need medicine. He sent it. I told her mom, hey, the medicine's at Walmart. 10 minutes later, she says, no, she don't have it. We don't need it. I'm not gonna go get it. And I said, no, just go get it. She might need it. She didn't. 10 minutes after they closed, she called me and said she has pink eye.
Yeah.
She needs it. I said, I'll make another call. I called him. I said, we missed the time. Can you send it to another pharmacy? In less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Nice. They sent it. We got it. Her pink eye was cured.
That's cool. So think about that situation going to a regular doctor. How much time they would spend, right?
Time,
It's
money,
money, everything. So that's this is somebody telling about.
Maygruss from Minnesota. I just want to say thank you, Be Well, for a great experience. I got a call that my son had a possible ear infection. I hopped on the telemedicine app on the way to pick him up. We got a consult with the doctor right away. He asked us if our pharmacy was the same. He called in a prescription. We got the prescription, had my son home within an hour, resting with the medication. Again, thank you, Be Well.
So that's a cool service, really cool service, right? So we got that. Then we have this membership with daily deals that when you're part of the club, you get this automatically and the telemedicine, okay? Daily deals is designed to save you thousands and thousands of dollars every year. And so we're doing business with over 1 million retailers, over 80,000 events that we get access to, and you're getting discounts off of that because you're part of this program. And so here's my buddy talking about it right here.
Jared Ojeda here from Atlanta, Georgia, Riverdale in particular. I wanted to take my son out to the movies, but I saw the prices. I was like, oh, I can't do it. But then I looked up on member deals, saw over a 40% savings. So instead of paying $66, we paid $33. I thank member deals.
That's pretty cool, right? So we get member deals, just saving money every day, all that kind of stuff. So what's it cost? Now, here's the other part that I'll tell you that Isaac said, let's do it better. We said, listen, Isaac, we felt like we had a great deal. 5 million people came in. We had this unbelievable, largest travel club in the world, but we felt like we could do it better. One of the things we think we could do better is have a lower barrier to entry on price, so that people can get in, and if they want to do more, they can do more. But on the first barrier to entry, here's what we made it. You can come in for the business part for $49, and then your club secret's $50, and then if you get one product of at least $50, we say that's a barrier to entry. Okay, and you can come in for $149. Now, the one that we did before, barrier to entry was about $500. Just to let you know, we're the largest travel club in the world. That we really like. So we feel like this is going to do it. Now, one of the other things we did, we said if you do this every year on your anniversary date. Now we didn't do this before. Every year we're going to give you a trip for 2 included. So if you get in today, next year at this time, if you do that every month, you're going to get a trip included. Okay. So, by the way, in our other deal, we didn't do that, right? Did you ever get a trip included? No, me either. Okay, so that's the one. Now, there's some people who say, okay, I don't want to have to wait a whole year for my trip. Is there any way I can get a trip now? So we said, okay, we'll have a trip, and we kind of made this one like our old one, about $500, $548. Everything up at top that you get, but we're going to give you more product, either more skincare or more nutrition, and we're going to give you a trip in the beginning. Today, you can take it whenever you want, okay? Trip now and a trip on your anniversary date, so 2 trips, okay? That one's $548. Now, the last one, we got people that say, listen, I'm ready to really travel. I was talking to somebody in here earlier today, said, I'm really ready to go travel a little bit. Okay, you might want the bigger package, which is called the Pro Pack. You get more skincare, more nutrition, and you get 2 trips now and a trip on your anniversary date. Here's what I'll tell you. I don't care which one you get. Get in where you fit in, but get in, right? We don't care if it's $149, $548, $1,000. We don't care. Whichever one fits you the best, do, because they're all valuable. And so that's the deal. Now, what are those trips like that we're given? Are they trips across town to Canton? You know, Canton North or Canton South, or what? How does this work? No, we got 3 categories of those trips. The first one we call 7-night stays. You can guess why, because you get 7 nights, right? There's about 2,000 different trips you can take a look at and take. I'm going to show you an example of a few. Here's some that we had, and I'm going to particularly show that middle one because of this. My buddy here, his daughter got married last year about this time. Now, when you get married, most time somebody's going on a honeymoon, right? Well, as a young couple, who usually pays for that honeymoon?
Daddy.
Dad.
Daddy.
But Dad's pretty smart. He said, no, you got a membership. Okay? And in that membership, his daughter, Kennedy, said, I'm going to pick this Ventus at the Marina El Cid Spa and Beach Resort, which is about $2,000. Okay? But because she's a member, how much did she get it for?
99.
It's included.
Right.
Zero. Now, in the 149, this is why I like to tell this too. In the 149, if she came in at the 149 package, one of the differences is for this free trip, you get the trip free, but you got to pay an activation fee of $99 if it's the one. But if you get the other 2 trips, it's zero. So she had one of the other 2, so she got this for zero. Okay. So even if it was 99, would that be a good deal? Okay. So she got it for zero, and his daughter's been on lots of trips with us, and here's what she told me. Maybe one of the best vacations she ever been on in her life. It was zero, because she's a member, okay? Then we have cruises, okay? All kinds of cruises. We got lots and lots of them, but let me show you one we did just a few months ago. This is what we took a bunch of people with us. Remember, this is part of we call it the getaway program. So this didn't cost our members anything other than what you're gonna see. This is the actual trip. One of my buddies.
We are out here on the Ruby Princess. We are chilling at sea 2023. We've got a group of people with us on this experience. This trip has been, hands down, one of the greatest vacations I've ever been on. Meeting some of the people we've never met, the culture has been absolutely phenomenal. I cannot express how much we need to be on it.
We are having the best time on this chilling vacation.
Hey guys, my name is Olu from Toronto, Canada. Originally from Nigeria, living the good life, guys. I've been on a bunch of cruises, but this is far the best cruise. Not just because of the food, the entertainment, but the people I've been with. The family ship. If you haven't been on a getaway, welcome to the good life.
Yeah. So that trip on Princess Cruise Line, that exact trip on Princess was $18.76 for 2 people. You can see it, food included, all that kind of stuff. We went to 3 ports, Costa Maya, Honduras, and Cozumel. We got it for zero. Here's the actual Princess Cruise. If you went and booked it on it, there's their actual deal. You can see how it breaks down. Here's ours. I know it's hard to see, but right here you can see 1 person, 2 persons, 0 and 0. The port fees we can't control, right? Because that's the government.
Right.
So the government charges you $140 a person for those 3 ports. So we pay $280. So if you paid the $99, but if you didn't pay that, if you paid the $99, it would have been $379 compared to $18.76, $1,500 savings. Is that a good deal for our members? Absolutely. That was a cool trip. We're doing another one in January. If anybody wants to go, we got about 250 people already booked to go.
Hey, do you choose me again?
Yeah. You're ready to be chosen. This is the one that my son said, hey, I think I'm ready to be homeschooled. And here's what it is. We just came out with these European stays, and we call it dine and stay, and we call it endless stays. Because on the European deal, when we went to all the over 1,200 places, so we're talking about like castles in Europe, we're talking about places on the beach. They said these 1,200 said, if you'll bring your club, here's what we'll do. We'll let you come as many times as you want to come during the year. So you have one membership, but you can keep going, and the stay is free. So we got 12 of these 1,200 locations. The stay is free. The only thing you're paying for is they said, if we'll let them come as much as they want. They just pay for their food. Is that cool or is that cool? Yeah. Okay. So you get that, and so you can go as many times. Doesn't mean just to that one resort. You can go as many times you want to the other resorts too. So that's where my son said, hey, can we kind of homeschool and go learn a little bit about Europe? And so I thought, yeah, let's do it. So again, there's the 3 costs coming in. Here's the money part. Remember I told you I made more in 18 months, making more money? Here's how it works. You become an agent, you can earn income. There's 7 ways to make income. I'm only gonna talk about 3 real quick. One's called a team bonus. That means as people come in, you override the volume that's going in. In that one, remember, you know people that we don't know. Let's say you know those 4 people. Those yellow people, we'll just call them yellow people in this example. Those yellow people know people you don't know. They tell the red people, you override those 2. Red people know people you don't know, we'll call them the green people. Purple people, pink people, doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter, just keeps going. You can make up to $25,000 a week with that one bonus, in that team bonus. There's somebody in the team, you can see their team commission was $12,000 that week. They made other bonuses. The second bonus is a check match, so all these people that get in, they start making checks too. Does that make sense? You start overriding a percentage of that check. So not only are you making the volume check, you're making a percentage check off of there. So they make 100%, you might make 10% of it, of what they're making. That's called match. But the one I really want to talk to you about, the bonus we just started not too long ago. This is the one we're all excited about. This is what's causing an explosion in our company right now. It's called Squared Bonus. Here's what it is. It's a true leverage residual income. Remember I told you that word leverage residual income? This one's a true one because as people come in, here's what happens. J. Paul Getty said, I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. Why is that important? Why J. Paul Getty? First documented billionaire in the world. I'd rather have 1% of the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own effort. That's leverage. Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money when you sleep, you're gonna work until you die. Okay, pretty smart guy, right? Investment-wise. By the way, remember I told you Isaac called somebody and they said, I got somebody you talk to and tell you what to do with your... This is who he was talking to, Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett said, get out of the malls, okay? And so this is all based on that. Remember, you come in at $50 on the membership and $50 a month on a product. We call that 50-50. Wasn't that genius? 50-50? $50. And what happens in the 50-50 for the squared bonus, you get the vacation every year. So if they stay in all year, they're getting that vacation. So are people staying? Absolutely. And here's what happens. We just start counting the number of people on your team that have that 50-50. And if you get X amount, you get X dollars every month. It becomes a true residual income. And don't worry about the teams left and right. If you get 5 on your left team, 5 on your right, we'll tell how that works. When you get that, doesn't matter. In this example, we'll say you put 2 in, those 2 put some in, and somehow there's 10 total, right? You're gonna override it, you're gonna make $50 a month. That's not a lot of money, but like I told you, it's kind of a belief check at that point for me. And so, but it's residual in nature. And by the way, don't you have 10 people now talking to people they know? It grows to 10 and 10, you're making 200. And by the way, we start giving you these things, we call them freedom tags, that at every level we'll give you those, okay? And so at 10-10, you're making 200 a month. Now let me just talk to you about this. How much money you gotta have in the bank right now, drawing interest that you can get right now to make 200 a month? How much money do you think you gotta have? It's a lot of money. So people like say, just 200? 200 can change people's lives. Do you know what I heard? I heard a stat that of all bankruptcies in the world, if those people that are going bankrupt, if they had an extra $400 to $500 of passive income, it could have saved them from that bankruptcy per month. Okay, here's 200, but look, 20 people now talking. We get to 25, oh, 500 a month. Those people are talking. We get to 50-50, 1,000 a month, coming in every month. We get to 100, 2,000 a month. We get to 250, 5,000 a month. We get to 500, 10,000 a month, and we get to 1,000, 20,000 a month, and we're going beyond that. This is just where we started. Okay, we're gonna have an event in New Orleans in about 3 months? October. I bet you there's a bigger level than 1,000. Okay? Because remember, this is a new bonus. We just started it. Okay? So it's getting bigger and bigger. And remember, it's not just to you, it's all these people telling people, right? All the dots. So timing of this is great. Timing of our company is great and all that stuff. But maybe you know some people we don't know. What happens if they get excited about this? You start overriding. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So you know people, but here's what happens sometimes. I've had it happen to me. I'll ask them, somebody will call me and say, Troy, what are you doing? And I'll show them, and when I get done, they'll say, I gotta think about it. I'm like, but you called me. Yeah, and yeah, but I gotta think about it. Okay, that's cool. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. You're not the only person we're talking to. Okay? So watch what happened. This was a true story. My friend, his name was Bob, this is gonna be Andy. My friend went to the think about corner, and while he was thinking about it, I put another guy named Bob in. Same night. My friend's over in the corner. We put him in. Next day, my friend says, I'm in. I don't know why I said it. He gets in. You see the difference in the relationship? Now Andy overrides my friend instead of the other way around. You're like, big deal, it's one person. What do we know about Andy? He knows people we don't know. True story. Andy told a guy named Dr. David Peach. Anybody know who that is? Dr. David Peach told a guy named Eric Grabowski. These guys made millions and millions of dollars with us. They told Roscoe Taylor, a great friend of all of us in here, a guy named Travis Just. All of these guys made millions of dollars. And my friend, because he waited, he didn't override any of it. See, it should have looked like this, shouldn't it? But it didn't. Now, here's the thing. We're about done. I'm just like, we got 3 ways to get in. It's not a contract. You're not locked into a timeshare. You're not locked into a sales service. If you don't like it, get out. That's it. But see, for $149, I would say don't miss this deal. If you want more vacation, you want more product, get one of these. I don't care. But here's the deal. I'm pretty much done with what I'm going to tell. We're pretty much done with this whole deal. I'm just going to get my buddy who I've been talking about to come up here. And some of you know this. Jeff's my best buddy in the whole world. We've known each other for 40 years, and I have fun with him, and we give each other a hard time all the time. But when it comes to this deal, I'm just going to tell you this, and you guys have been around know this. When it comes to this deal and building it, that's Michael Jordan right there.
Yeah.
This guy knows what to do.
Right there.
He can make this thing happen, and he's here to help, and we're going to keep coming this way. And if you know people, it's not just here in Kenton. If you know people, we're going to be tomorrow in Fort Wayne, the next day in Chicago, the next day in Minneapolis. If you know anybody in those places, let Jeff go to work for you. You can hire him. He can go to work for you. Okay? So I'm going to bring him up just to close this out. But thanks for letting me have. God bless. Appreciate it.